Hey everybody, this is Iskal and I'm here to bring you a tutorial for how to make a wither skeleton farm. I've got a lot of PMs on how I did the one on the Moonlight server, and so here I am in a creative world trying to give you the idea how it all works. Now before we get into me actually showing you the farm, I want to talk a bit about the wither skeletons and how they behave, because that's going to be really important. Right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the light level. The wither skeletons will spawn just like any overworld mob if the light level is 7 or below. So that means that if you have torches down like this, you have just removed all the spawning spaces for a wither skeleton. You can check your light level by pressing F3 and be looking for the value called BL in Minecraft 1.8 that is soon to be released. That F3 is going to change a bit, but it still applies. So look for the BL, and it needs to be at least or at most 7 for them to spawn. Right. The second thing about wither skeletons and where they spawn is that they need to be, or the area needs to be a nether fortress. These kind of things that you find in the nether, right? They need to be an authentic nether fortress. The blocks, however, can be whatever, so they will spawn on any full block. They won't spawn on glass, they won't spawn on half slabs like other mobs, but you can replace the blocks in the nether fortress with whatever you'd like and they will still spawn. So this is still a valid spawning spot for a wither skeleton. However, you cannot try to make a non-authentic nether fortress. That will not work. So if you, for example, go away and you find an ideal location and place down nether brick and hope for them to spawn, that will not happen. Very, very important. The third thing is that the wither skeletons will spawn in any area where the light level is correct and it's a true nether fortress, regardless of height. So they can spawn up here, they can spawn down here, and oops, that's some lava. And they will also spawn in these kind of crossings. They'll spawn in the walls, so they'll spawn inside here if you allow the other, or if everything else is met. If all other criteria are met, they will be able to spawn in here. That is what we're going to make use of when we make this farm. So what you want to find is one of these crossings, or ideally two of them next to each other. These crossings are, you can easily make them out by looking for a crossing without an overhang. Let me show you an example. If we fly around the corner here, you can see a crossing like this. This one, however, have an overhang with some fences going on, looking all fancy, and this is not a wither skeleton fort crossing, so this do not have the corner properties. This crossing, however, over here is usually found outdoors and not within the netherrack like this, but it can still happen within the netherrack and it's still fine. What you want to be looking for is to make sure that it doesn't have any overhang like this though. No posts going up like that. Right. And from here the wither skeleton will spawn. So you go to the center, mark down the center where I had the torch. Right there, the wither skeleton will spawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks away from that center in all directions. So that means that direction, that direction, that direction, and that direction. More importantly though, because that's what we're going to be making the farm out of, is that they'll be spawning within these corners as well. So if I mark out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to the lava there. Oh, got a lava situation. Let me close that off real quick. Right, so if I go this and then I try to, whoa, then I try to find that other corner that we have there. That was almost a spot on hit there, wasn't it? You can mark it out by doing this, and within that area, within that corner, the wither skeleton will spawn. So that's what we're going to make use of here in this tutorial. The last thing I want to talk about before I show you the final build here is that the wither skeletons will spawn on this level as well. So we're going to make use of that and place the blocks on that level equal to the ledges here. We do not want to go up, and for this we don't want to go down. So we want to place them right there. Now I'm going to teleport myself to a final version of this and fly around and show you what it will look like. So as I said, ideally, let me turn this to difficulty 0 as well. Ideally, you'd be looking for 2 of these crossings next to each other, because then what you can end up with is a huge spawning platform like this. Because what it all comes down to, as in any mob farm, is to make sure that we have ideal spawning situation for the specific mob that we're looking for. Right. A wither skeleton, and here's the fancy part, a wither skeleton will not only spawn on the ledge level up here, and they will not only spawn in the corners of the nether fortress that doesn't originally exist, this area here, this being the crossing. They will also spawn in a level below it. So what you can do, and what I did on the Moonlight server, was that I dug down 3 blocks, and then on the 4th one I placed another equal spawning platform just like this. And this is now a big area for wither skeletons to spawn. Right, so you may say to yourself at this point, I've built this, spawns aren't that great, these it's not really working out. Well, the next thing, and the absolute most important thing, is to make sure that no other mobs can spawn nearby. Right, so if we look at this netherrack part here, this is an ideal area for a pigman to spawn in. And there are only, oh, that's a voice crack, sorry for that. There are only so many mob spawning spots and only so many mob spawns happening per game tick that in this situation pigmen would be spawning all over here, they would be spawning up there, they'd be spawning all over the place while you're standing here waiting for your wither skeleton spawn. Now, how do I fix it? Well, and this is the most hard part as well, you need to be half slabbing, or in other measurements such as putting glass down, removing the possibilities for a pigman or a ghast or anything else to spawn in the nearby area. And the nearby area is 128 blocks around these platforms. Cool? If you do that, you have not only removed a lot of pigmen from your nether, you've also made sure that the spawns are concentrated onto the farm area, which means that you will have a lot of spawns playing this game on hard on these specific spawning spots, making it easy for you to run around back and forth and killing wither skeletons. You will also get pigmen spawning in, and unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it. You will also get blazes spawning in, and likewise we cannot do anything about that. Pigmen and blazes are not affected by light level and will spawn in regardless, and since wither skeletons are affected by light level, you know, we better keep the lights off, otherwise we're only allowing blazes and pigmen to spawn. However, there is a way you can get rid of ghasts, and that's by making sure that you do not have any 5x5 areas open or available on your spawning pads. So for example, this corner here is an ideal spawning spot for a ghast. So what you could do is that you could just mark out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the center of that block here and go up 3, because that's what a wither skeleton need. I actually do think that they can spawn in a too high thing, too tall thing as well, but they will suffocate immediately, so you do not want to do that. But do this and then place a glass block there. This way you've now forced this area to be a non-ghast spawn friendly area, so ghast cannot spawn or can no longer spawn in this area because it's not a 5x5x4, right? So you do that all over the platform and you removed your ghast issues. And you may say at this point, well, why then not just glass seal the whole thing? You can do that, but another factor to mob spawns is that you want to have as many air blocks as possible around these spawning platform. So this thing that I built here isn't really ideal because there are a lot of buildings, a lot of blocks around it. For the spawns to be absolutely optimal, this would be floating around in the air above lava, or just, you know, everything would be cleared around it. Then spawns would be ideal. You do not want to place walls down here. You do not want to do anything specific. In fact, you want to, if you do this on your survival server, you probably want to get rid of this tower here, for example. That's what I did on the Moonlight server. Yeah, I think that covers most of the things around wither skeleton hunting. And if you build this and if you put the time and effort down to half slab everything around it in 128 block area, I guarantee you that you'll have a lot of spawns coming in here. Remember that you need to be 24 blocks away for the wither skeletons to spawn, so you cannot be standing here. They won't be spawning around you, maybe in the corners. So what I did was that I put a little AFK room or turnaround room like 30 blocks away, and then I just went to that AFK room, went back to the spawning pads, killed all, and then go back to the AFK room, if you know what I mean, to respawn the mobs. Alright, I hope that this helped you in building a wither skeleton farm super effectively, and happy hunting. We all need those beacons in survival. Take care, bye bye.